our project is on fire and erosion. Erosion work is mostly most of the settlement going into our rivers, affecting our reefs, our waterways, mussel beds. Most of it is caused a lot from farm work, station owners that don't have that idea of how to control their gullies or maintain their waterways. And you got a lot of livestock like cattle, little horses, pigs. They're destroying a lot of our lagoons, waterways, because they're using them for crossings, and that's where most of your erosions flowed out from. They're using it all the time at crossings, so which they don't have that knowledge like we do, like first class. Like we do a lot of our coal and hot burns, which is helping us a lot. Yeah, well, what are we doing here today? I'm actually burning on one of my ranger block here just to stop erosion. This is what we call early dry burn, so it stops a lot of our heavy burns going into our erosion. So the cool burn sort of slows the erosion down from spewing out from where we are burning around here. There's erosion right around here, so this is why we do our cool burn, so reduce the impact of the erosion moving a bit further towards the block. Yeah, this is one of our solutions that we are trying this year, so it has been working for us eventually, so yeah. While we're here, we've just got Ranger out on me. He's just putting a bit of light to the ground here, and I'm just going to walk the strip torch along slowly. Just a slow walk so the fire is evenly burnt along here. And this should turn out to be a nice little fire without going into our erosion spots. Hot burn is totally different to a nice cool burn. So a cool burn is all level ground to the ground. So yeah, it gets most of the ground coverage what is underneath, which is good. And then you get new germination trees coming back, new ones. So good for the wildlife and everything else. Yeah, so everything will come back once this is all burnt and come back nice, looking nice and green again for us.
So the overall project is about traditional owners being able to get a better understanding of the impacts of erosion control and fire management on water quality. So it's incredibly important for the project to be traditional owner-led, as well as having ownership over the data that comes out of those activities themselves. Some examples are traditional owners using machinery and their local knowledge to be able to conduct the on-ground works in the tractor and the truck, and then going out and monitoring the work that they've done, and then using that information to make further decisions around further erosion control works. As a part of our project, we've been able to identify a project pilot site, which is located on Aboriginal freehold land, meaning that we have the capability to be able to take full leadership. What's very significant about this site is you have all three elements in regards to we have erosion, we have the fire and the creek here. At these sites we've been able to install photo monitoring plots, as well as collecting data by walking the sites with GPS to try and ascertain how fast the erosion is growing, which actually leads out to our seagrass beds and the Great Barrier Reef.
Well, the water quality comes under just monitoring what's going down the waterways. Pretty much, it's turbidity, it's monitoring sediment and what's coming out of the neighbouring properties. So monitoring that they're doing all the right practices, sort of like herbicides, land clearance, fire management, because if they do them things incorrect, it all affects the water systems, water channels, river systems, and it all leads back out into the ocean, which is affecting the reefs and the seagrass beds. Sometimes we come out on field trips to do our water quality sampling, and the equipment we use is a Pro DSS meter, and it normally gives us samples of or readings of our acid levels, which is pH, dissolved oxygen, salinity and conductivity. And why we do them is just to check them mainly for the health of the waterways. to see if everything's running correctly. So what we normally do is after we take these readings down, we'll record them on our database and then probably come out a week later and do manual samples to see, send away to the lab to see if the readings pair up together pretty correctly. So that's very important. That way we know that our equipment is calibrated and all that. And at the moment, I'm taking a sample for suspended sediments. And that's basically any debris or something that's floating around in the middle of the water, not on the bottom, not on the surface. So once we get that paired up, it's very important to get that feedback from the labs. And that gives us our indicator of the river water health. Good neighbour policy we got is with Cape York Water Partnerships. And their knowledge is you can't put a value on it because they've been doing a lot of training with us on how to filter data, how to collect data, maintenance our equipment, which before we never used to do. So now that it's come, you can't put a value on that. And just teaching us how to basically monitor the data.
Being a trainee with Yuku Baja means you take care of land and sea. You look after the country. As a trainee ranger, I'm a part of Erosion and Fire Management and Water Quality project, and that means taking care of erosions and preventing them from growing bigger.
Erosion is when water or anything runs down and takes away the dirt or sand. It takes it into the waterways, which could block them up and make it flood, which could create more erosion. And sometimes it'll go into the ocean, which will make our oceans look really brown, and it's bad for the animals in the ocean.
We have good partnership with parks. They give us use of their the big truck and plus the parks tractors. So I'm moving the rocks around with the park tractors. Plus Jess is using the truck to load her up to take the excess rock to the places where I need to, where I'm actually working on the erosion on the roads.
Well, this is one of the areas we're trying to address through visitor management. It's not really a camp area, as you can see, that just through uncontrolled traffic that they slowly worn ruts into this sort of area, this rampy sort of location. And through that, it's just created extensive damage through erosion and just slowly, in the wet season, it just slowly deteriorates and eats out. And most of that sediment will travel down to here, and we're just trying to really protect the little reef that we have out here. And through that continuous use of this road, the sediment's slowly going to build up, and hopefully at the end, that we don't lose the reef, which is a little habitat for like stingrays, you get your clams and turtles. So we're just trying prevention, but at the moment we're going to have to fill it up with rocks and all that and try and armor plate this area. We're going to slowly bollard it all along the side of the roads here, and that's sort of, yeah, only way we can really maintain this sort of area.
I reckon it's very important for Yuku Baja because more data that we collect is more for my elders and that to understand what we are actually doing on land. Well, the waterways are always important for everybody to use. Like for my people, everyone loves to go fishing. You know, you got to have the nice clean waterways, you know, because even the reef, and you know, you have got to have lovely bloody seagrass for all our turtles and dugongs. At the moment at Archer Point is just, yeah, they're going off out there because you can see the dugongs marks where they're swimming around out there, having a good old feed out there. So the Archer Point is coming back to where it is. Seagrass is coming back eventually. It's growing back to healthy. And you know, you a lot of people that love to go out and boating, swimming, fishing. So you know, it's there for everybody to enjoy.